Yo, what's happening? It's your boy Jeswic, Fletcher, and you're now tuned in to the OCT podcast, the only critical thinker podcast where we think critical. We lead and we walk in love, but most importantly, we understand that we are the creators.
I be showing love, I be showing love, L-O-V-E, I be showing love, I be showing love.
And man, today I got a beautiful topic that I want to speak to y'all with and about. And that topic is attachment being the number one cause of pain. Now, I know a lot of y'all listeners or watchers may be thinking, what attachment is the number one cause of pain? What is he talking about? Yes, attachment. And now let me break it down for you. And to give you the simple terms before I go into the deeper terms, simply put, I feel that because of the human society and us as a nation, especially my community, we attach ourselves to everything outside of ourselves, such as money, cars, clothes, women, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And we believe it. Oh, no, let me not forget this one because I know a lot of people need to hear this. Clout. Yeah, people attach themselves to clout and not understanding the dopamine release from that clout that we are seeking from. So people get addicted to clout. But hey, I'm gonna go into that later. So, with us attaching ourselves to these things outside of ourselves instead of working on self and believing in self and trusting in self, because where's the temple? The temple is inside. Where's the soul? The soul is in the mind. We have to understand that these are things that we have to constantly and continually to progress in and work on, because the minute and the second we start to attach ourselves to things outside of our control, I heard a wise man say before, you lose control trying to control the things that you cannot control. Understand those things are outside of your hand. You cannot control them. So back to what I was saying, the minute you attach yourself to those things outside of self, you are going to be guaranteed disappointed. It's a guarantee because you can't control the outcome. Now, if you can control it, cool. But understand that a lot of times those things that we believe we can control are outside of self. Only thing that we can control is self and the decisions that we make. But when we try to control those things outside of ourselves or attach ourselves to those things outside of self, our decision making gets even changed and altered, because now instead of us making a decision to improve self, we're making a decision based on the outcome of this situation, hoping that that situation outside of self is going to then return the energy that I am looking for, which is happiness. Because everybody want to be happy. Everybody want to be loved. Everybody want to be accepted. But the thing is, it's not the things on the outside, but the things that are inside that brings us that joy, that love. Now, I want to play a video for y'all today. This video is actually talking about money versus power, and I seen this on Derek Grace's channel. So shout out to Derek Grace. He got it from someone else, but you could go to his channel and watch this video yourself. I put it in this video and in this podcast so you can hear it. But in this video, they're talking about money versus power. But I found a very good underlying message to what I am speaking on right now, and that is the attachment. But I'm going to play this video real quick, let you listen to it. I think it's a 1 minute clip. I'm going to play it, and then I'm going to read in the caption what they put. So give me 1 second.
When I talk about the effects of dealing with self-hatred, one of the effects, of course, is the misspending of money. And
how so though? How does that work?
Because the money is misspent again to relieve pain, you see, to compensate for inferiorities, and because the individual has been reversed which we'll have to explain at some later point, you will see a situation where almost inevitably the spending for getting over an inferiority complex involves spending the money with the person who gave it to you in the first place.
Wait a minute. There's something you have a thing about anger and resentment binding the oppressor to the oppressed.
Yes, and this is a part of the aspect of it, you see. You want to buy the approval. You want to buy, you mentioned even in the Garvey statement, you want to buy the products that restructure the image.
Now, from that video, you may have been listening to what he was saying, but I was listening to deeper what he was saying and what was actually going on. To me, that sounds like a whole bunch of attachment. You want to buy the image. Why you want that image? Because you want to be looked upon from your peers that you look this way, this is what I got, and you want that praise from them to make you feel better. You want to look good in front of them. Well, in actuality, you need to be looking good for self. You want to reconstruct the image. You want the money so you can reconstruct the image. That's why you hear a lot of people say, hey, man, get the money, the females will follow. Why I got to get the money for the females to follow? The money to me, and here we go. This is an internal argument that a lot of wealthy people say and have with a lot of people that is not as wealthy as them. So a lot of people say, hey, man, money do buy you happiness. If I just get the money, man, I'd be happy. If I just had the money, I'd be happy. To me, happiness doesn't come from the money. We have to understand that money is a material product, a material thing, a physical thing outside of self that a lot of us subscribe to and to say, okay, we value this dollar to this standard and this dollar is worth this. Now, let me tell you, the dollar is not backed by gold anymore. And even if it was backed by gold, if we was to all come in agreement saying that we don't care about gold, trust me, the value of gold would go down. The value still goes up and down with gold. It's just because we hold gold to this standard and this value. But guess what? That gold cannot go 6 feet under with you into the afterlife or wherever you going, whatever you believe in. That gold does not go there with you. That gold stays on earth. So we have to understand these things, and we have to tap into the reality, the real reality of self, and stop subscribing to these illusions. I'm not saying that money can't buy your mama out the hood. I'm not saying that money cannot buy your dream car. But understand that you buying your dream car is only going to make you temporarily happy. It's not going to bring you internal happiness. Yes, some of the things that we do and get that are material, yes, okay, cool. It does bring temporary happiness and create other opportunities. It can feed the homeless. It can do this and do that. It can. I'm not saying that it can't. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that this money is outside of our control. The value of this money is outside of our control. The women's are outside of our control. They do not go in the grave with us. They don't. So it's time for us to wake up into the realization of the real reality of empowering and uplifting self and understanding that peace, happiness comes from within inside and self. The temple is within inside. The soul is the mind. So we got to work on the mind to work on self, to uplift our spirit. So I want to read the caption under that video. It said, money is used as a psychological conduct of freedom. Come on, man. And in this delusion of freedom, we use this money against our own self-interest. Our own self-interest. Come on, man. It's a fallacy amongst Africans around the world that money equates to power. There is a distinct difference between money and power. Now, for me, money is used as a psychological conduct of freedom. It's not. Freedom comes with inside. I was watching a video one time of this man, and y'all probably seen this video before. It was a man in prison, and he at the age of 14 or 16, one of the two, he went on a robbery and he killed this man, right? And he been locked up for his whole life. At 14, they tried him as an adult, and I think they succeeded with that, and now he has life in prison.
Well, I came here in 1989 at the age of 15 years old. I was actually convicted of the crime that I'm here for at the age of 13 years old.
And what was the crime?
Double homicide. So I committed a double homicide at the age of 13 years old. At the age of 15, my case had ran its course through the court, and I was sitting here to this prison in 1989.
Double homicide,
yes, sir.
At the age of 13.
13, yes, sir.
That's very, very young.
It's tragic, to say the least, and it is very young. Absolutely, it's unheard of. You know, wow. It's unspeakable, to say the least.
And with him being in prison and them coming to interviewing them, they seen how close his walls was together, and that how his room was smaller than the average bathroom. And it was like, man, I would go crazy in this tight space. I lose my mind in this tight space. There's nowhere to breathe. There's nowhere to stretch out. And I would feel like I'm just encaged like an animal. And I'm paraphrasing here. He said to them, he was like, it's only as limiting as your mind is. When I read these books, he had tons of books. He said, when I read these books help me escape and go to another place outside of these four walls.
And you have written here, no man is your enemy, no man is your friend. Every man is your teacher.
Yes, sir.
I'm also standing here, and I think these are the parameters of your existence.
Existence, absolutely. These four walls.
It's a pretty isolating place.
It really is, if you see it as such. It's isolated only to the extent that you think it is. You know, I mean, those books allow for a great escape and for to be able to leave the confines of the wall. So.
But I'm only in here for a few minutes, and I feel it as such. I feel it. I feel the isolation.
Everybody in this building feels the confinement that we're suffering here. You know, you put an animal in a cage for too great of a length of a time, it goes crazy. You know, how much more so humans? You know. So.
And that's to go back to this caption that I just read. Money doesn't give you freedom. It doesn't at all. So people can say, man, I could buy my freedom, I could do this. And I'm not talking about on the prison level, like, oh, I got locked up and you telling me that now that I got money, or if I had money, I could bail myself out. That's freedom. I'm not talking about that in that type of situation. I'm talking about mentally and spiritually. So don't get the two confused, because understand that a lot of times, because we get so caught up into the physical, we lose sight on the real reality and get caught up into the physical illusion. So these just a couple thoughts, man, that I wanted to bring to y'all in a conversation that I want to have with y'all. And I just want us to start understanding, because we attach ourselves to these outside things outside of ourselves, we get disappointed over and over, and we get heartbreak over and over. Just like the girl who put the gas in the car and set the car on fire and almost blew herself and broke her neck. Like, come on. So, I mean, I see it all the times. Females acting crazy over dudes who really don't care about them. Dudes acting crazy over women who just trying to get the bag and finesse a dude. It's just like, come on, bro. Dudes selling his soul, women selling their soul and selling out for $1 that is not even backed by gold, and that dollar is depreciating so fast. Boy, that's another story for another day. I'm not even gonna go in there. The dollar is steady depreciating. So you selling a piece of your body and a piece of your soul and a piece of your mind for this dollar. I understand you got to do what you got to do. And everybody got a job that they got to do. But, I mean, we just have to really understand it ain't all about the dollar. It ain't all about the cars. It ain't all about the clothes. What you have outside of that. Like, you got to connect with self. Build yourself spiritually, mentally. I'm not saying that you can't build yourself physically, but just understand the importance of taking care of the temple and take care of your soul. The soul is the mind, and the mind helps to uplift the spirit and connect with the spirit. So these are just ideas. You know, I like to keep my videos short. I don't want to keep it too long on y'all. Y'all tell me what y'all think, man. Because, boy, I mean, like, constantly I see this over and over and over and again, and it's getting very disappointing because I see people getting these things that they're seeking after and they're depressed, or they not getting the things that they're seeking after and they're depressed. So it comes to a point where you gotta have to make a decision. Are you gonna tap into self and uplift self? Or you gonna keep falling by the wayside? Listen, my name is Jeswic, Fletcher. I love you. You're a king, you're a queen, you're a goddess, and nobody can't take that away from you. Keep your head up, keep your nose clean.
I be showing love.
Say the word, you live forever.
I be showing
Peace.
love.